Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of the Ringside Beer Show, number 47. It's your boy Jay Smooth, and I'm here with
Alex. Welcome back, guys. Thank you guys for coming back and hanging out with us, enjoying the episode. And we don't have Hector here today. It's just the original
OG
OTs,
crew.
the OG crew. And we have a little things different today. We're not doing fight companions. We didn't really have that many current events. And so we're going to do a fight predictions episode for the big UFC 264 fight.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not Mystic Mac, but I'm going to have a couple predictions, boy.
Yeah. And then what? Well, we had 4th of July this weekend.
Yes, sir. 4th of July. Some people are observing today. And keep the party going. We're all about Independence Day.
Yeah. And you know what's the best way to keep the party going? With some Ringside beer.
Yes, sir.
This episode is brought to you by Ringside Beer.
Ringside Beer, since 2012, committed to bringing fight fans quality lagers and ales. Ringside Beer is proud to offer fresh beer in both 16-ounce cans and on draft. Look for our flagship American-style lager, our-style red ale, or any of our other beers in your area. Shop at ringsidebeerstore.com for t-shirts, hats, and tap handles. Get in touch at ringsidebeer.com. Get in the ring. Be ringside. Ringside Beer.
All right. This is, I feel like, a brand new episode for us. So, yeah, we're going to start off with every fight and who we think is going to win, why they're going to win, and look at the odds.
Yeah, we're going to go a little bit into depth in this UFC 264 pay-per-view card. So we will start with the early prelims because, goddamn, this thing is stacked from top to bottom.
Yeah, let's get it started. So the first fight on the early prelims is Hu Yazong.
Bro, that was perfect.
Did I get it right? Okay, versus Alan Amedovsky.
This boy practiced.
I've been tried.
Our real fans know they're clapping right now because
Like,
they're like, this boy practiced.
Slow clap, guys. Slow clap for me.
I love it. I did a good job, bro.
Let's get into it. Let's see. What is the odds? So the odds are Hugh is a plus 125, who is an underdog. And Allen is a minus 150, who is a slight favorite.
Yeah, very slight favorite. It seems like this could be anybody's match, really. And in the middleweight division, these guys are scratching and climbing for a spot to trend upwards. My boy Hu Yaozong is with a 3-2 record, and he's going against Aline Amedovsky, and he has an 8-2 record. As a betting man, my early fight prediction, I'm going to go with Aline, the blue corner, and I'm going to say possibly early 2nd round TKO.
I would say so. With a 3-2 record, he won 3 fights, 2 losses for Hugh. I don't see this going your way, especially with Allen has a 2-inch reach advantage. The legs, I mean, you give it to Hugh, but he lost his last fight. He is 6'3", though, to 5'10". That's a pretty big difference between Allen and Hugh.
It is. But, I mean, we've learned. I mean, us fight fans, I know you guys can, attest to this as well. Over time, we've learned, height and size sometimes don't play a factor.
Yeah.
It's all about your technical skills and what you can do in diversity, and
damn, our boy Hugh hasn't fought since 2018.
So
and
I'm probably betting my entire car on my boy Allen.
Yeah, that would be the safe bet. I would say probably early knockout for Allen.
Yeah, I'm going to go TKO 2nd round as well.
Let's see Allen's little scorecard right here. Let's see what he has going on.
Wow, so is this his debut? Because I don't see much.
Yeah, I don't see anything on here. And
There's
we're looking
no
at the UFC.com history record for Allen. Let's see, fight status. Oh, no, we do have some fight.
Okay.
So he's also 2. He lost the last fight. So they're both coming off losses. And Allen got knocked out on the most recent fight. But he has fought recently.
It doesn't change the way I feel, unfortunately. I just, if I'm a betting man and I'm gonna be a betting man coming Saturday.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going on for the blue corner.
I'm looking at his first fight. So they both fighters only have 2 fights in the UFC, Allen lost his last fight, the same as Hugh. And
I think it said you won by unanimous decision there.
Oh, so both of them are both coming off losses.
Wow.
So they're both kind of in the same boat. The winner gets to stay. The loser gets his walking papers.
Well, I'm still not shooketh. I'm
Yeah.
staying committed.
You know why? I don't know why. Hugh with that 6'3" advantage. I'm kind of going with Hugh on this one.
Let's do it.
I am going with the underdog on this one for sure. All right, let's move on. You're going with Allen. I'm going with you.
Let's do it.
All right, next up, who do we have? Oh, you're gonna help me with this one.
All right, guys, I'm gonna apologize in advance. So we have Zalgas Zumagulov with the 13-5 record, fighting against the renegade Jerome Rivera.
Oh, all right.
In the flyweight division, 125.
This is the second highest favorite on the card of the UFC 264. Zalgas is a minus 360 favorite. Like they're saying, Vegas is saying he's going to win pretty easy on this fight. And Rivera is a plus 270.
Zalgas is from Kazakhstan, which there's a lot of, fighters coming out of there, good fighters. But there's a 6-inch height difference for Jerome Rivera. If you are leaning towards that trend of size, it might play a factor.
If we're going with that, the only reason is because both fighters have 2 losses in their UFC careers. They haven't won a fight in their UFC careers. And I'm not speaking about Zalgas or Jerome Rivera. I'm talking about the previous fight. But if we're going off height, the only reason I'm saying, because what the other guy was 5'10", and Hugh was 6'3". So I'm like, all right, well, they're both on losing streaks. That's why I chose him.
I mean, if I'm doing my math correctly, that's still a 6-inch difference. Same scenario for this one. The last fight for Zalgas and Jerome, they're both coming off a loss. And there's a 6-inch reach difference for reach, and there's a 6-inch reach difference for the legs. But the shorter guy is the heavy favorite. So it just goes to show you, MMA math never adds up. And if I had to go back to college, I'd study MMA math before I study regular math. Because if I don't understand MMA math, I for sure ain't going to understand regular math.
None of it makes any sense. But Zalgas, his wins come by 54% by KO.
Wow.
And Rivera, his majority of his fights come by submission, which is 60% of his fights.
Looks like they can even each other out. This is an interesting matchup.
You got KO artists versus submission artists.
Yeah. Early fight prediction. I think I'm playing it safe because I saved the riskier parts for the later rounds. I'm going to say the heavy favorite is going to be my pick.
Yeah, I think so too. Zalgas. I got Zalgas on this one.
TKO, I expect that to happen. If he's knocking dudes out 50% of the time, I'm going with that.
Yeah, and what was the score? 13 wins, 5 losses.
For Zalgas.
And Jerome has 10 wins, 5 losses. So
it's fairly close.
Pretty much win 2, lose 1 for Jerome.
If you see the tap handle right here, though, I do rep the United States. So I wouldn't be mad if my boy Jerome Rivera, the Renegade, takes the dub.
All right. So we're both going for Zalgas. We're putting money on this?
100%.
Okay. Yeah, Zalgas for me as well. Let's keep the train going.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. Ooh, this one's going to be a heater. This one I feel like is going to be maybe possible fight of the night. Potentially. We'll see. But we have Omari Akhmedov versus Brad Tavares. And Omari is 21 wins, 5 losses. Brad Tavares is 18 wins, 7 losses.
May I say,
yes,
Omari Akhmedov has one of the legitest nicknames because it literally applies to this guy. His nickname is the Wolverine, and my boy's hairy. He looks like the Wolverine. He looks like Hugh Jackman, just without the top hair.
Dude, he's just missing all the hair on the top. Everything,
it's everywhere else.
Everywhere else. Where is it? Why is it gone from the top of the head, bro? Come on.
Yeah, I've always had like confusion understanding that. It's like you clearly don't have a problem, producing testosterone in the hair. but the area here, where
You
if it's everywhere else, just take it off your back, put it
Bro,
up there.
Brad Tavares looks like he's about to step in for Aquaman Part 2 or something. Am I crazy, dude? Come on.
No, he fits the part for sure. And if he continues to not do too, I mean, he's coming off a win, but if he hasn't been doing too well, the movie business might be a route for you.
Well, let's talk about the odds here. Omari is the underdog. He's a plus 135, and Brad Tavares is a minus 165. So slight favorite.
That actually shocks me a little bit.
I know, right? I would have favored Omari to win this one, but
yeah. Well, it just goes to show you, what the name and the star power can do. For example, I'm familiar with Brad Tavares because we've been watching the UFC for quite some time. This man has, made a name for himself over a period of time. He's trended up, he's trended down, and you're familiar with him if you're a UFC fight fan. So it just kind of shows you like the name and, what you have done previously can still play a factor in the odds decisions, i.e., for example, Conor McGregor, but we'll save that for the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll have that part really super juicy. But early predictions, man. Who do you think is gonna win?
So I'm a little shooketh that Brad Tavares is the favorite. I'm not gonna play it safe on this one. I'm gonna go with what my gut is telling me, and I have Omari more than likely by a decision. I can see it going all 3 rounds. Both guys average 12 minutes in their fight time. That's an average of fight time for them. Brad Tavares is 13, and Omari is 12. So these guys like to stand and bang. They want to get in there and do the damn thing. And just the percentage of how Omari finishes fights, I'm going with old boy.
I think so too, but if you're picking decision, Brad Tavares' percentage of winning by decisions is 61%.
Oh, I can totally see that.
So
I can see that.
They're pretty evenly matched. I don't know why I'm feeling like Omari might take this. Nothing against Brad Tavares. He could easily win this fight, but it's just I don't know.
How do you see Omari winning the fight?
Just pretty much taking him down, kind of like the Khabib.
Little ground and pound,
banking the rounds, and just a lot of heavy wrestling, getting Brad Tavares really tired in the first round. Brad Tavares, I could see him winning, but I could see him winning by knockout. Yeah. Just that's what I see.
Yeah.
So, I would favor Omari on this one, which is weird that he's an underdog. Maybe we'll win some money. Shoot, we don't know.
I mean, Vegas, if you want to help us out, that's cool. Keep the odds that way.
All right, so we both got Omari on this one.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to the next fight, which is the last fight on the early prelims. This is going to be a banger right here. Jennifer Maia versus Jessica Ai.
Wow, dude.
Number 4 and number 7.
On the early prelims. Yeah. On the early prelims that are free $99. Well, I think if you pay for ESPN Plus, but nevertheless, they're being offered to you. It's right there for the taking.
Yes.
I love this matchup. This is a solid matchup between the two. Good potential to switch places. If, in fact, Jessica Ai wins, she can take that number 4 spot. Maya can drop down to 7. It seems that both fighters are coming off losses, which is a good way to rebound. I mean, what better way than somebody in the top 10? The reach is fairly similar. Ai has a 2-inch reach, and the leg reach is about the same. Early prediction. I am picking Jessica Ai to win, either by TKO or by decision. I feel like the leg kicks of Jessica Ai may come into play. She may set up something low, go high, and be able to win the fight that way. That's just kind of my gut feeling.
I have the complete opposite feeling on this one. I have Maya winning this by KO. And by looking at the odds, we have Jennifer Maia at a minus 200, so she's a bigger favorite. Jessica Ai is a plus 160. How you were just describing Jessica Ai winning was the way she got knocked out by Shevchenko.
Yes.
She dipped low, a leg came up, and KO.
What better way to learn, though?
I know, right?
Than to take one on the chin.
I know. If you don't learn from that is going to happen again. So,
I agree.
No, you know what? This one's tough. This one's tough because Jessica Ai, 73% of her wins come from decision.
Which means she's a grinder. And she has a lot of output. And that's where I feel where my gut instinct is.
And same with Jennifer Maia. Jennifer, 50% of her wins come from decision, but give or take 30% from submission, 20%.
15-minute average fight time, bro. She literally lasts all 3 rounds in all of her fights.
Yeah. So we don't think there's going to be a knockout. If you're going with DraftKings picks here, I would always pick people that are heavy knockout favorites.
Yeah,
if you're going with DraftKings, because the way to win in DraftKings, you have to get first round KOs, pretty much obviously every single one to get to the top 5.
Right.
And I have done it before. I've gotten top 4 in DraftKings.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And off how much of a $4 bet? $400.
It was wild. We were staring at the phone more than we was looking at the fights.
So this one I wouldn't choose. I don't think anyone's going to get knocked out here. I think it will go the full 5 minute or the full 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, 15 minutes fight. I would favor Jennifer Maia, but if we're going with decisions, Jessica I. But you know what? I'm going with Vegas. I don't know why.
I respect that. I do.
Maybe they have some kind of hand in the winning right now.
They might. I mean, they just hit a record amount of generated revenue in casino gaming, and that just goes to show me that they just getting started taking all your money.
They're just about to get started with that, man. Shoot, let's get right into the prelims. We are done with the early prelims. Let's get into the prelims on ESPN Plus.
Man, they got some heat, boy.
Oh man, they keep on getting better and better and better.
They do.
Trevin Giles versus Dricus du Plessis.
Dude, that's awesome, bro. You did a good job, man. Today is your day. Seriously, yeah, you deserve it.
Alex learned how to read, guys. Yeah. No, man, these names, I feel like they just get a couple alphabets and just throw them on the ground. Like, that's your name right there.
Yeah, I've yet to understand like the origin of some of these names. It fascinates me. But nobody likes normal. So let's get into the fight. We got Trevin Giles versus Dricus du Plessis, and
odds are
Trevin
is a plus 100, and Dricus is a minus 120. This is pretty much even money. With Dricus?
Yes,
Dricus. Just a slight. We're talking a hair, like his hair, right? It's poofing up. He's a very slight favorite. I was trying to make a joke and it didn't even come out right. But I was like,
it worked for me. It was good enough for me.
But let's get into their records real quick. Let's see what they have going on.
So Giles is 14-2, and Dricus is 15-2. Very close, similar records. Both weighed in at 180, or going to weigh in at 185. 2-inch reach difference for Dricus, so that may come into play. Also, 2-inch leg reach. In all honesty, okay, here we go. So this is the good stats. Trevin Giles wins his fights 50% by TKO, 36% by submission, and 14% by decisions. Dricus wins his fights 40% by knockout TKO or 60% by submission. He's never had a decision. His average fight time is 0. So it seems that
it's his debut.
And it seems like in his previous fights, he gets in and he does the thing. You know, he's ready to fight.
Yeah, he might be just the aggressor on this fight for sure. Since we have high percentage KOs and submission, I would definitely bet on this one.
Yeah,
put money on the DraftKings. You know, someone's about to get KO'd. These two fighters do not let their fights go to the judges. Let's just say that.
Yep. Exactly.
If anything, probably put both of them.
Yeah, one card.
One card each, right? This one's tough.
I'm picking Trevin Giles. I just feel that I'm more familiar with him. I've seen him fight, so I think I'm gonna go with him by knockout, first or second round, one of the two.
If it's his debut, you know, people when they want to make a debut in a UFC, they usually do.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't force it.
I'm going with the wild card. I'm going with Dricus. I have nothing to back it up other than it's your debut, and I'm looking at just the stats right now. 40% by KO, 60% by submission. If you do not KO'd, maybe he has a chance taking it down and wrestling with him and with Trevin and get a submission there.
There's always that potential.
Tough. This one's so tough.
This is the beauty. This is the beauty about picking fights.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
You really don't know. Even Vegas says no. There's a lot of even money fights, especially this one. This is very even money. If you put money on Trevin Giles, I mean, you break pretty much even. You get a couple bucks.
Barely.
But
that's where you got to enter that one clip. They said I stole a car, but I'm legally blind. Wait, you stole a car? You can see? Barely.
I don't like men's anymore. Dude, we're running. Oh my God, we're having so many clips in here. All right, let's go into the next fight on the prelims. Ryan Hall versus Ilya
I'll take
Topuria. All right.
Yo, first, if I may say, I got to say something first of all.
Oh, okay. What are you going to say?
Let's just pretend we're on Instagram here. And you see a picture and it says, the guy you're worried about, big old buff guy. And then it's the guy you should be worried about. And it's a picture of Ryan Hall.
The guy you should be worried. Let me tell you the odds. Ryan Hall is a plus 185. He's the underdog in this fight.
Whoa.
This is what I said. I was like, I was looking at these fights. When I look at the odds, I had picked Ryan Hall before I even looked at anything else. Ilya is a minus 230. Vegas is saying he's a big favorite. And let me tell you their records. Ryan Hall, 8 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws, right?
Yes.
Ilya is undefeated, 10-0. Height, 5'10" for Ryan Hall.
I acknowledge the undefeated record, but this is blasphemy. Like, Ryan Hall is legit, and the fact that he's an underdog.
I know.
I'm really. This is a debut for Ilya too, right?
It
looks like it. It looks like it. 0-0. So
yes, it's a debut fight.
This is fascinating to me. You would think the UFC would be. The odds makers would be a little more knowledgeable in like a home team. You know, the UFC's the home team, bro. They've already been there. They know how it goes. It's the biggest stage, and they've already been on it.
Yeah. This is why we're so shocked, though. We know what Ryan Hall is gonna do. We know. Yes. I could tell you right now his game plan, and I don't even have to see the fight. I already know what he's going to do. He does the same thing, kind of like the Khabib. You know Khabib is going to go in there and wrestle. Ryan Hall, you know he's going to go in there and shoot and snatch that ankle. Yep. You know that's the way he's going to do.
That's all he's going for.
That's the black belt. He perfected this move where he submits pretty much all his fighters, and by the same thing, ankle pick. It's kind of like the Ronda Rousey. The armbar submission, right? Yeah. Every other fight ended in an armbar.
When you're good at something, you grind it out. You perfect it. You sharpen that tool, and you go around and you use it, And, he's taking out some good names here, too. I mean, he's fought in Lobov. He's fought in Maynard. He's fought in BJ Penn. He's fought in Dan Elkins. I mean, these are all killers, know? And he's won.
He hasn't lost since 2015.
That's insane. That's 6-7 years ago, so... Yeah. My money is on Ryan Hall via submission.
Yep.
Or even by decision if he just grinds him out and holds him down.
I think so, too. I think Ryan Hall is going to win. I'm shocked that he's an underdog. I feel like this one you could put money on. Like, if you're just... This one would be a bet on mybookie.ag. This is a straight-up bet. If you just want to double your money, I feel like Ryan Hall is the one. Now, yes, Ilya has never lost a fight, but it's his debut. And I knew in the last fight I said, it's his debut. They usually push a little harder because, they're trying to prove themselves in the UFC. They want to make a name for themselves. I get it. If you win by beating up Ryan Hall, then congratulations. You beat a freaking MMA, almost a veteran, I feel, at this point.
No, seriously.
And a specialist. How old is Ryan Hall? Do we know how old he is?
I want to say he's close to our age, bro. He's like in his 30s. This is what surprises me. Like, I'll be honest, when you got some undefeated fighters or people that are making their debut, that's a great scenario if you're on like the Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter. But on a stage like a Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier card, you're making your debut against a straight UFC veteran killer who is not even like trending downwards. He's been trending up for a long time. I don't think that plays in your favor a little bit. That scenario is just not quite the best one. I think that's more of something you want to like knock out in a Contender Series or Ultimate Fighter, something like that, looking for a fight. That's when you want to, make your debut, or you want to try to get, the pushing the extra mile out of the way. Because you need to be in there, you need to be smart, technical, educated, decisive, and all of that, and in a debut fight on the UFC and on Conor McGregor card, there's only one person I know that actually did the best they could on a Conor McGregor card, and that was the Tarantula, Jalen Turner.
There we go. And that's another thing. We don't know how Ilya is going to do under the biggest lights in MMA,
Seriously.
If it's his debut fight, this might be too much too soon for him to chew or to bite on.
Could be. That's where I'm at.
I'm picking Ryan to win this one. I'm not buying the hype on here. I need to see Ilya win, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
This one,
Same.
We're going with Ryan Hall on this one for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, next up, the next fight we have going on is Nico Price versus Michael Pereira. Pereira. All right, and he odds. Am I shocked to hear this? No, but plus 135 for Nico Price and a minus 165 for Michael.
We're going to call this the battle of the no contests because both these boys have 2 no contests. I would like to say the UFC really needs to go back and expunge a couple of these no contests for these failed marijuana tests, because if you are going to implement that you're not testing for marijuana anymore, all the previous things that you can fix, you should go back and fix. Same for the law. If you're going to legalize marijuana, you need to let the people out of jail who you've put in jail for marijuana. And even the fact that I'm saying marijuana upsets me because that's not the legal recognized term. It's called cannabis. And if we're going to start taking this very seriously like we should, Dana White, the UFC, they need to go back and they need to adjust these records. Make it I don't know, just make it like I wouldn't even say a no contest, just a tie, Just take that away, because the no contest, it just doesn't look good, man. It just does not look good, at least for someone like me. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah.
And also for Piera. I mean, he has his reasons for his no contest, too. My boy's wild.
Yeah, he is. All right, do you agree with the odd makers on their decisions on the favorites and the on the fight? So Nico Price is the underdog, and Michael is the favorite.
No, I don't agree with this at all. So Michel Pereira is legit, okay? But he's also like a extreme wild card. And it's very hard to say that someone like that can be a favorite in any fight, because they don't bring he doesn't bring a specific trait to the table. It's like you don't know what he's going to do. And that, to me, how do you make that a favorite? You don't know how he's going to win. You don't know. I mean, there's options, but I like Nico Price. I like the fighter that he is, although he hasn't really fought somebody at the top. I mean, he fought Cowboy, and I would probably consume some cannabis after that as well, because how do you deal with fighting somebody that's your friend, that you enjoy? But nevertheless, I really do like Nico Price. I'm going with my heart here. I'm not going with the Vegas bets, and I'm going with my heart here. I'm going to say Nico Price by TKO.
Really? Now
TKO.
you brought up a great point. Nico Price, his last fight was against Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone, we know, has been on a downward trend. He had a draw, right, with Donald Cerrone. If I'm putting money on this one, which I will, Michael is a big favorite for me to win. I just don't. Yes, I'm looking at the stats right now. 71% for Nico Price by KO. He finishes the majority of his fights.
Yeah, but that's all the fighters before Cowboy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, did he just go easy on Cowboy? Did he really go really hard on Cowboy? I don't know. This is, to me, if you have the opportunity to make a really big name for yourself against a Cowboy and you have a draw against Cowboy, that's saying something to me.
Yeah.
Unless that's your buddy. Unless you be like, hey, man.
And, I mean, you can kind of tell, like, there was there was layers behind that fight. It seemed that Nico Price, they enjoyed each other, you know, and Cowboy had to work himself an angle where he's like, oh, this young man wants to try and take my, you know, my reins. And Nico had to be like, you know, this is the guy that's in my way. But and at the end of the day, we know they both liked each other, you know, and it was probably tough for them. But what I feel is going to happen, I think Michel is going to make a mistake. I think he's going to be full of mistakes. He's always full of mistakes. He's very technical and he's very strategic until he's not. And then it's just a bat out of hell, you know?
And that's where I'm like, when you mention he's a wild card, I don't know, but I know what Nico's brings to the table. And if he's bringing the same energy he brought with him when he fought Donald Cerrone, then I will favor a massive wild card over that.
I can respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know where I'm coming from on that one?
No, 100%. I think I'm just turned off on the backflips and the
whole
how many times have we seen somebody jump off a cage and tear their MCL, ACL? You know,
Johnny Walker.
Exactly. And Justin Gaethje, you know, is a lucky man. Like, he did half of that. He did half of those backflips barely conscious. You know what I'm saying? Barely, you know? But I just feel at the end of the day, seriously, I keep reiterating it, I feel Michel's going to make a mistake, and Nico has to capitalize on that. There's too many opportunities that Michel presents with mistakes or flaws or overcorrections or whatever the case may be. Nico has to capitalize on that, and I think he is the more smarter fighter.
Now, I love this. I love how me and you have two completely opposite ideas, but they both make sense. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like we might have a bet on this one.
I was waiting for you to start throwing some dollar signs out.
A nice little 5 on this one?
I'm down for a 5er.
Let's do it. 5 on this one. I
got 5 on it.
Now let's get into the next fight. This is the main fight on the prelims. This will be the last one right before the pay-per-view starts. And it's our veteran Carlos Condit versus Max Griffin. And let's get into the odds really quick. Vegas, of course, says that Carlos Condit is a plus 160. He's an underdog. And Max Griffin is a minus 200.
I want to take us just a step back to the last time Carlos Condit fought. I believe it was Matt Brown.
I'll pull it up right now.
And I want to test my memory on this one. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Matt Brown. And that was a hell of a fight, dude. It was a hell of a fight. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Yes. All right. I have bad memory issues. That's why I'm so happy. That was a banger. And both guys, although they're older and are veterans, they still brought the heat. Now, to tie this back to Carlos Condit, I really like where he's at in his career. Towards the tail end of his career, he's still competing at a high level, and he's still winning. I've always been a big advocate. You should always go out on top. You should always go out on a win. I really like what Max Griffin brings to the table, and if I'm a betting man, my money is on Max Griffin.
Yeah. I'm favoring him a little bit on this one, too.
Yeah. I think the chin, he just still has a better chin.
Yeah.
I think he's just a little younger, a little hungrier, and a little stronger.
And Carlos Condit, it has been in the sport since WEC days. Think about that. WEC, that's when we had
Uriah,
Jose Aldo,
Jose,
Donald Cerrone came from
Cowboy.
there, Anthony Pettis. I mean, a lot of the veterans that are leaving the UFC or that are their contracts are finally being finished. I see Carlos Condit also in the same pool. Like, yes, he has his last 2 fights he has won, but they was against another veteran like Matt Brown, and it was who was the other guy? But the fight before that was Michael Chiesa. Like, if he fights anyone with a
number,
if he's top 10, like, more than likely is not good for Carlos Condit.
I don't think. I mean, it at this point, like these McGee. Oh, that's cool. I just so like fights like that and Matt Brown. Those fights are going to be what elevates your career towards the end. Nick Diaz, fight Nick Diaz. But when you're taking on these younger guys, Max Payne, I just don't like what it does for the career. I don't think. I don't think
Max Griffin.
yeah, you're good. I don't think a win over Max Griffin is going to elevate you into the top 10 or get you a title fight. So take these fights that are a little more your style, a little cup of tea, and just go out on top, dude. Yeah, that's just my view.
Ooh, we have a common person that they fought is Oliveira, Cowboy Oliveira.
The other cowboy.
Now, did Carlos Condit did lose against Oliveira as well, didn't he? Or did he win?
I want to say he lost against him.
He lost.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is a good matchup for them both, but I am 100% Max Griffin.
Yeah, same. It's so hard to pick against Carlos, though, man. Can he get it done?
Of course, and he has to be
Of course.
unorthodox too. That's the way that he's gonna win that fight: spinning back fists or vicious elbows, something in the clinch. I mean, I can see something like that happen. You know, vintage Carlos Condit, but he has to come out, and he has to come out like Carlos of old.
Yeah. Can he get it done? He could, but it's gonna take a Hail Mary. I feel like it's gonna be a shock if Carlos wins. Like, that's what I feel.
Yeah, I'd be.
It's going to be like a knockout, something crazy happen. Carlos Condit wins that way. I don't think it'll be by decision. Max Griffin, he could win by knockout and maybe get top 15 fighter after that.
This is, unfortunately, to use this term, Carlos Condit is a stepping stone for Max Griffin to get to the next level if he can win and win by a fantastic decision or by a nasty knockout, something like that. I can see that happen.
God, I hate picking against Carlos Condit, but Max Griffin is.
I do
for
too,
me as
bro.
well.
I do too. But I mean, for example, I like to state in all the episodes, I'm a conscious person. I'm here and now, and I try to look at it as what have you done for me lately, and might not always be the best view, but that's just I try to operate in that manner because we can get lost in the name and the star power and the what have you done. But what have you done for us lately?
Yeah, let's get right into it, man.
Yep.
All right, well, that will wrap up the prelims. Now let's get into the pay-per-view. UFC 264, headlined by Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. Let's start on the very first fight. Sean O'Malley versus Chris Motino. I think I'm saying it right.
I'll take that.
He is, now I looked up Chris Motino. Record 9 wins, 4 losses. He's fighting out of Cage Fury Fighting Championship, CFFC, and pretty much got the call to fight Sean O'Malley, and this will be his debut fight.
I got 2 issues that I'd like to address. First of all, the UFC needs to put up a picture of what this guy looks like because he looks like the Wish edition of Sean O'Malley. If you were to order a Sean O'Malley off Wish, you'd get Chris Motino. I think it's hilarious. The placement of his tattoos, the color of the hair.
Oh, you saw the purple hair?
Oh, bro, it's like a Wish edition. And I'm not trying to put him down. It's just funny because when you see somebody who's already taken that type of style or whatever, it's like you might want to try a different route. But nevertheless, by all means, brother, do you. Second issue I have, the UFC has a misprint on the record. Sean O'Malley's undefeated, bro.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, I was like,
I was trying to play to the narrative.
I think that one goes to Chito Vera, my brother.
That one.
Odds. You want to hear the odds on this one?
Let's hear it.
Sean O'Malley is, of course, the favorite. You want to guess how much? A minus
400. More.
Go more.
Minus 450. Minus 500. Minus 550. Minus 600.
Keep on going.
Bro, minus 700.
Go, okay,
bro,
on, go.
Minus 900.
Minus 900.
Oh my God, bro.
Bro.
That has to be the biggest favorite of all time.
No, he's one of the biggest. I think the biggest favorite was Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey. Or
Ronda was
Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor on the first fight.
Oh, Conor was
that
the favorite?
type of favorite, yeah. Chris has nothing to lose. He has everything to gain, and making yourself a name against Sean O'Malley. Dude, you have the biggest opportunity to make your MMA career. This is do or die. You're going to make it or you're gonna sink on this one. And not only that, if you're a fighter, you get the call 10 days notice. You get to fight a huge name like Sean O'Malley on one of the biggest pay-per-views of all
On the main
time.
card, not even a prelim.
You're on the pay-per-view. You're on the main card. You have a chance to make a name for yourself
And some money.
and shock the freaking world. And dude, I didn't even talk about the odds for Chris. He is a plus
25.
He's a plus two. No, he's a plus 550. You put, I mean, dude, you can put just $100 and
You'll be able to retire.
Yeah, dude, you could put some money on Chris, and if he wins, yeah, you can. You'll get some bank off this one.
Oh my God, dude, that's insane.
This
that
is
just
tough.
That's wild. But yeah, I am for sure on the side of Vegas. I think Sean O'Malley's gonna win within the first 30 seconds, maybe the first minute. Let me give him a little bit of time to adjust. Within the first minute, knockout, 100%.
Okay, I looked at Chris's record. Right, his pro record is 9-4. His amateur record is, I believe, 10 wins, 1 loss. I don't think no one really knows Chris. We don't know what the heck.
We don't.
And this is what's
I
exciting.
don't even really care. But I got Sean all day.
I know. I'm favoring Sean, obviously. I'm excited to see what Chris is gonna do, though. I have no idea.
This here could be fight of the night.
This could be fight of the night. We do not know what's gonna happen with Chris. He's the wild card on this. We're talking about wild cards. He's a real wild card.
Yeah.
We do not know his real background unless you watch Cage Fury. You know, if you watch all his highlights coming up through this fight, but. Yeah, we're favoring Sean O'Malley, but, I mean, Chris has a big opportunity to make a big name for himself against a huge favor on this card.
O'Malley's just such a big 135er, bro.
He's
just such a big 135er, man.
I mean, I feel like we can talk all day about this fight, and we don't know what Chris is bringing to the table.
We don't.
Really don't. And but Sean O'Malley should be able to get the win. He was training for this fight. I don't think Chris was training for a specific fighter, let alone Sean O'Malley. And Sean O'Malley's going to stand up. Might that work in favor for Chris? We don't know. It looked like he's more of a Muay Thai guy, but we'll see.
I mean, we don't know who he really is until those bright lights gets turned on and let's fight. And then at that point, we'll see the type of man he is. But this is awesome. What better opportunity than against Sean O'Malley on a Conor McGregor card on pay-per-view?
On pay-per-view. All right, we are both going with Sean O'Malley on this one. So let's keep on going. Let's go into the next fight of the night, which will be Irene Aldana fighting out of Mexico, Guadalajara, of course, at the Lobo Gym, just saying, or represented by Lobo, versus Yana Kunitskaya.
Wow, bro, you're doing well today.
Can I get another one?
Yes, you may.
Yes. My reading is improving, guys.
Seems like earlier in the day helps your reading.
I know. I don't know what happened at the beginning of the episode. I felt like I was stumbling a little bit, but I'm back on track. All right.
Back on track.
Yana is married to Brazilian guy who fought John Jones. Has the hammer right here.
Thiago Santos.
That's Thiago Santos' wife right here. Yana is, yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
And we'll go into the records. Irene Aldana is 12 wins, 6 losses. Ooh, I don't like that. 2 wins to 1 loss. And Yana is 14 wins, 5 losses. Yeah, Irene lost her last fight. Yana won her last. This one's tough, dude.
This one is really tough.
All right, odds are Irene is the favorite at a minus 125. Yana is a plus 105. But I feel when it comes down to the fight day on Saturday, Yana could be a closer. This might be even more even money than we actually seen it.
Bro, my mind is ticking right now because I really like Aldana. I like the fact that she's from Mexico. Para la raza. I love Lobos MMA. It's where the champs are coming from right now. But to tie back in, Irene wins 2 fights to 1 loss. Like you stated, she has a 3-inch height difference, but has the same reach and has a 1.5 inch less leg reach. These things concern me. The fact that she's ranked 4 and Yana's ranked 5, that concerns me as well. This fight is pretty even money. Both fighters win by 50% TKO. Yana typically goes to decision after that. Irene will either submit you or she'll let it go to decision 25% of the time. My mind is telling me Yana, but my heart's telling me Irene. So if I had to flip a coin, I'm picking Yana.
Oh, you're going against La Raza over here.
I really don't want to, but
Dang.
I got to operate in the here and now, and what have you done for me lately, and essentially where are you at this time?
You know what? This is the one where I'm not listening to the. I should be following the stats. I should kind of like you're using the brain and not the heart, right? When you make your bets, right?
Yeah.
Right? So you're picking on emotion on this, or for me, I'm picking on emotion. I'm picking Irene. I have to go, well, not have to, but like I favor my fighters from Guadalajara. Gotta go with my girl Irene.
It kills me, bro.
I know.
It really kills me. Like if I didn't have this American the American lager tap handle here, I'd have the Mexican one, which is down below. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
I am about
I'm picking Irene on this one.
Well, I respect it. We can keep that here in front of the
I go
Ireland
pick the
flag
Ireland flag.
because we'll get into that fight later.
But if I'm betting, this one's tough because this one could go to Yana. I could see it going your way on this one. I'm just picking Irene because I favor my fighters,
I respect it, dude.
So
I do.
Don't pick on this one because of, I picked it for my. No. I'm picking it because I'm super biased on this one.
This is literally why
I'm telling
we're
you,
doing this show.
So, yeah.
We're giving them the stats. We're giving them the insight.
Yes.
We're giving them the emotions, and that's for you guys to make the decisions.
Yeah, you guys make your decision. I'm super biased. I'm going with Irene. She's a slight favorite, but when it comes to fight night, this might be even money. This might be, hey guys, we don't know who's gonna win. Even Vegas is saying that. This is pretty much even money. All right, guys. Let's keep it going with the choo-choo train. Woo! Ooh. Now, here's a heater. I feel like this is going to be a first-round KO. 100%. We got heavyweights in the building. We have Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. And, odds. Tai is a -140. Greg Hardy is a +115. Tai is a slight favorite.
I want to know what the odds are on Tai Tuivasa doing a shoey.
Oh, that's 100%. You know he's gonna do it.
That's a -9,000.
What are the odds if he does it with Joe Rogan?
Oh. Well, Joe Rogan will definitely have to be the one that spits in the shoe, and not the one that drinks it. Because I couldn't see that, bro.
He's gonna be
Well, I'm sure he'll do it.
He's like, come on, you already have the shot, bro. Come on. You're already protected against everything.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into the records. Tai Tuivasa is 12 wins, 3 losses. Greg Hardy, 7 wins, 3 losses. Tai is coming off a win, and Greg Hardy is coming off a loss.
We got a 3-inch height difference. Greg Hardy's 3 inches taller. He has a 5.5-inch reach, and he also have a 5.5-inch leg reach. Greg Hardy has the potential to win this fight.
I am picking Greg on this one.
I'm picking Tai.
Even though Tai is the favorite to win, even though he is the favorite, Greg, all his fights, he comes off really, really fast. He almost sprints, kind of like his football career, right?
Yeah.
He gets it done right away in the first round. I know, look at the stats. Look at the KO stats. Oh my God, Tai is a 92% finishes fights by KO. Greg Hardy, 86%. If you are a betting man, bet that this fight is going to end in the first round. You know 100%. Someone's going to get KO'd. Yep. This is what we call in DraftKings a favorite. You want to pick one of these two fighters to put on your cards. Why? Because you know it's going to end in a KO, and you know it's going to give you 100+ points in your DraftKings cards. Yep. So this is one of these two fighters I would heavily put in your DraftKings cards if you guys are going to be doing it that way. This is more of like pick your favorite fighter. Who do you want to win? They both have really high percentages in KO.
This is my outlook on this fight. I guess I'm not even really looking at like the fighters themselves, what they bring to the table in regards to fighting. I think it's more of like I'm looking at it from the brand aspect. The UFC can do so much more with Tai Tuivasa than they can do with Greg Hardy. There's a lot of stipulations that come with Greg Hardy, and you don't know where he's at any point in time. So you have to kind of keep yourself on your toes when it comes to Greg Hardy, whether it's him conducting himself professionally or him just bringing the best version of himself to these fights. I really like him. I like what he brings to the table. But against someone like Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, can you scroll back down for me? I would like to explain I want to go a little bit into who Tua Tagovailoa has fought in, okay? He's fought in Andre Arlovski. He's fought in Junior Dos Santos. He's fought in, I've seen him, but I'm not too familiar with him. Struve, he's fought in Hunsucker, the last guy that he fought. Mm-hmm. These guys are definitely known, and they've put in their time in the UFC. And for him to rack up some wins over these guys, I mean, it's really good to see. So I'm picking Tua Tagovailoa. Well, he didn't win against Dos Santos.
Out of his last 5 fights, he's only won his recent 2 fights. So that's why I'm kind of like, all right, I'm leaning towards Greg Hardy. He's new to the sport. He's learning. Yes, he had some issues back in his football career. We don't have to get into it. You can kind of look it up for yourself if you want to. As far as his legal drama, whatever you want to call it. But like Dana White said, you know what? If you can't get a second chance in the UFC, where are you going to get a second chance, right?
No, that's the place.
That is a place.
They let you throw, dollies through buses, and they'll still put you on the biggest pay-per-view of all time.
Yeah.
Even though you injured like 4 fighters.
Now, Greg Hardy lost to Tybura? That's his most recent loss, but has won maybe his last 1, 2, 3, 4, his last 5 fights out of 6?
4.
His last 4 out of 6?
Yeah, because Volkov there.
Oh, yes, he did lose it. But Volkov just fought against Gain, who's going to fight for a title. Volkov
don't get me started on that.
Now, Volkov and Tybura, I'm assuming they're top 15 at least right now.
Yeah, at the least, yeah.
At the least. So I could see Greg Hardy losing to fighters that have more experience. Tagovailoa has a little bit more experience, but why I'm going with Greg Hardy is because he might sprint him and just KO him. Yeah. I just feel that's going to happen. That's what I just feel. So you got Tagovailoa, I got Greg Hardy.
Sure do.
Are we betting on this one?
$5.
$5 it is. Now let's go into the co-main event. I'm not even going to lie. I was shocked that this was a co-main event. I did not even hear a peep about this co-main event.
Still to this day, I haven't heard much. Like I've been trying to watch like the embeddeds and stuff, and just like the lead up and the UFC Instagram and everything. And this is literally flying so far under the radar.
To be a co-main event on the Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier card, we have Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Now, obviously, Gilbert Burns lost his last fight against Kamaru Usman, so he just fought for the belt. Obviously, it's going to be a loss. He did get KO'd, I would say TKO more than anything.
Yeah, TKO.
Mm-hmm. He's number 2. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson just came off a win, and he's ranked number 4. The odds have it here. Gilbert Burns, a plus 135. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, a minus 165. What? Now, tell me why these odds, some of them are hits and some of them are complete misses. I feel like Gilbert Burns should be the favorite on this one.
By far.
Right? He just fought for a belt. He hasn't lost a fight before that, right?
Let's also go to opponents. Perfect. Let's start with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Okay? Scroll down just even one more, because I want to start with the Tyron Woodley. Okay? Perfect. So he lost to Tyron Woodley.
Yes.
Stephen Thompson. He won against George Masvidal. Not really hard to do, okay? He lost against Darren Till.
Yes.
Okay? He lost against Anthony Pettis by a nasty knockout.
You know, it's that one, that Anthony Pettis fight, we had, were you talking about it? I had called Anthony Pettis to win that fight. There was something when Anthony Pettis, this was when Anthony Pettis was moving up in weight, and he was starting to get
It was like right after the Ferguson fight, right? Or
exactly,
like
yeah. So he's getting his back to stride. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he was getting his little, after his loss against Wonderboy Thompson, it's a little shaky.
Super shaky. You know, he fought Vicente Luque and he won. And he fought Neal. Is it Jeff Neal? Yes, Jeff Neal, and he won as well. You know, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has the potential to be in the top 5 for the rest of his career. Now, let's be honest here. The last time he fought for a title was against Tyron Woodley, and both times he didn't have anything to really outshine Tyron Woodley. You look at how Tyron Woodley has lost against the last couple people that he's fought, it's really hard to determine, you know, that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson should be the favorite. Let's get into Gilbert Burns in his last fights, okay? Because this is where I'm going to reiterate the point. The last fights that he has was against Kamaru Usman, which he did lose by knockout. But it was in the 3rd round. He did really well. There were some times he rocked Usman. He almost put him out.
In the 1st round, he could have won. If he would have rushed or gone wild, I felt like we could have had a new champion.
He was way too timid.
Usman was composed and just
He's a true champ. He's a true champ. Real deal. But, you know, Burns won against Tyron Woodley. He won against Damian Maia. He's won against Gunnar Nelson. These are big-name guys. I respect Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and who he has fought, the Tills, the Masvidals, and these guys. But I'll be honest with you. The top of the division was Woodley, was Usman, and, you know, was these guys. And Gilbert Burns had just recently fought them.
Now, here is something very interesting to see in Gilbert Burns' career. If you notice when he fights a named opponent, Dan Hooker. Loss. Another big name opponent. Well, you know what? Well, yeah, you know what? You're right. Damian Maia is a big name veteran. Tyron Woodley, former champion. He just still lost against. But this was when Tyron Woodley was on his way out, though. I feel like it was more of Tyron Woodley on his way out.
But that fight there, Tyron Woodley did bring it, bro. And he tried. He tried.
Didn't his rib get broken in that one, though?
Yeah.
So he lost. No, it was decision? Oh, yeah, because it was in the 5th round. And then, you know, he got knocked out by Usman.
It's hard to determine because with Woodley is like, there was that scenario. Did he lose the juice? Did he lose that you know, the spark? You know, what is it? And now we know he's got it because he's about to go beat the dog shit out of Jake Paul. But that's in a whole other sport. So we're going to keep it here on the UFC 264 card. Gilbert Burns is the number 2 ranked fighter in the world. He just fought for the belt and unfortunately lost. I'm still picking him because I feel he's trending more upwards than Stephen Thompson. I think Stephen Thompson has reached a peak or a pinnacle, and that's, you know, might start trending back down.
It's tough because what happens to a fighter who's fought for a belt and you can't get it? What happens to a fighter normally is like
they become a UFC commentator on ESPN.
You know, or there's something that happens when you fight for a belt and you're on that uprise and you don't get it. You start playing with your head. You always like fighters usually have that like delusion, like, no, I'm going to be the next UFC champion, right? And once you don't make it and you fight for the title, you start questioning what have you done. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, I feel, has already gone through that and is back on the track, I guess you would say, to start winning fights. Gilbert Burns has just lost his belt, or like his chance towards a belt.
I can.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel I'm seeing why Vegas is picking Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and the more and more I keep on thinking. Initially, I was like, hey, Gilbert Burns, he should be the mega favorite. I don't know why he's not the mega favorite. And the more and more I keep on thinking, he just lost to the title fight. We don't know mentally when a fighter loses a title fight, are they questioning themselves? Am I good enough? Am I this and that?
I feel like Usman was a former training partner, and
Yes.
there's all these factors that and MMA math never adds up, man. It just doesn't, you know. Each scenario has so many layers and just backstories and so many paths, you know,
Yeah.
that each potential fight has its own opportunities. Let's go to early fight predictions. I'm picking Gilbert Burns by knockout, first round.
Ooh.
First round by knockout.
I'm slightly leaning with Vegas on this one. I'm going with Stephen Winterboy Thompson
I just have a feeling Gilbert Burns is going to come out just like in the Usman fight
and just
and
go
just
gung
do
ho.
what he has to do. And once he rocks Wonderboy Thompson, he already has that in his mind. I cannot slow down or play it safe. I have to go balls out.
Yeah. I feel like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is going to do the same thing, same game plan as Tyron Woodley and fight on the outsides and bank rounds. And Gilbert Burns is going to fight someone like Tyron Woodley where it's like, I'm going to rush him, and hopefully get the KO. And I'm picking Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to bank the round and get a decision.
This is a good co-main, and I'm so surprised it's going so under the radar.
It is. Are we betting on this one?
Sure, I'll bet $5.
$5. I got this one. This one I do not know who's going to win, but I'm slightly picking Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah.
So let's go into the meat of the show. Let's go into it. We already know what it is. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. The odds on this fight is Dustin Poirier is a minus 125, so he's the favorite.
Wow.
Conor McGregor.
I love that.
Conor McGregor is a plus 105. There's slim. Where they do not know who's.
And it's still early too.
It's still early. I feel like Conor fans are probably going to put more money on it, and it's probably going to be even more even money the day of the fight, Saturday. All right, let's get right into it. We already know. Everyone knows the history. 1-1. Dustin Poirier got knocked out in the first fight. Conor McGregor got knocked out in the second fight.
Let's talk about that, though, for
Let's
just
talk
1
about
second.
the second fight.
First fight was at 145 pounds.
Yes.
Both fighters were at the beginning of their careers. Conor McGregor, that was his debut. Once again, made a debut, tried to make a name. All right. Second fight at 155. Dustin was the bigger fighter.
Yep.
Came in, and he was the fighter that came trending upwards. Well, off of no, he won. He won prior. Let's go into that.
We'll get into it.
Because I'm pretty sure Dustin won prior to the Conor McGregor fight. I think he beat Dan Hooker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into his record right now.
We're going to check that right now. But I just want to reiterate a little bit about the weight classes. This third fight should have been at 170 pounds. I know that they want to make it for the belt. The winner gets the next belt. Yep, Dan Hooker. Yes, I was right. Damn, my memory's on point today, boy. Them early shows. Bringing the heat.
And the fight before that was with Khabib. The fight before that was with Max Holloway.
Which was one of the best fights, man.
And this was when Max was trying to go up to 155.
For the interim.
But naturally fighting at 145. He's just a natural 145er. He didn't have enough time to put on all that weight for Max. Right. Do I feel if Max had the opportunity to put on more weight and get himself established as a 155er, it could have been a different story for Poirier. But we do not know.
Look at Murder's Row, bro.
Dude.
This is Murder's Row. Keep it going. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is insane. Like he's fought everyone.
He's literally fought everybody, bro.
Joe Duffy. I mean,
this is insane. Wow. Okay.
From his very first fight with Conor McGregor back in 2014, he's fought Ferreira, who's a great fighter. Yancey Medeiros. Joe Duffy, who's at that time had the only win over Conor McGregor. Obviously, more people has wins over Conor McGregor now.
Bobby Green.
Michael
Johnson.
Jim Miller.
Jesus. Eddie Alvarez. And Anthony Pettis. Justin Gaethje. Oh, Alvarez again. Holloway. Norma-Gamedov. Hooker. And now about to be Conor McGregor. This is mother-loving Murder's Row that Dustin Poirier has been through. And he is coming out victorious 90% of the time.
Yes.
You know, I love Dustin Poirier. And what has he done for us lately? He's won for us lately. You know?
Yes,
And
man.
he even took a favorite fight, not me, but what you casuals want to see is him fight Conor McGregor again. I was content with the knuckles to the nose of Conor McGregor. That's all I needed to see. Because at this point, just reiterated where Dustin's at. And why not show the world again?
Yeah, and are we even going to go into Conor's?
We have to.
Well, let's just go, man. It's
Conor's fought some murders row too, though.
he has since he last fought Dustin in their first fight in 2014.
Marlon Brando. Oh, that was before.
Yeah, that was Silver. What's his name?
Dan Seaver.
Dan Seaver.
Like
Chad
Mendes.
Jose Aldo. Nate Diaz.
The
The Nate Diaz second fight. Eddie Alvarez. And when he captured both belts, the 155 belt, in New York. The Khabib fight. Donald Cerrone. Shoot. That Donald Cerrone was almost like a, what do you call those fights?
That's a gimme.
No, when they give you a fight just so you could win. It's like when you are having a lot of fight in a long time, they give you a pick me up,
filler fight, something like that.
What's it called? There's an actual word for it though. It's gonna bug me.
As soon as we stop filming, it's gonna come to our mind.
I know, right? It's just one of those things where in the fight world, like, guys, it's this, and you're like, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Not a nosebleed fight. What's the heck?
Easy money fights, what it is.
Easy money, a record, something you just put on your record to get back on.
Yeah, it's a gimme.
What is the freaking word? It's driving me blank. Anyways, we're gonna get past it, and if it comes back up, leave it in the comment section. Let's just leave it.
Drop it in the comment.
Drop it in the comment section because I feel like that is gonna bug me.
It'll be Walter Kukus or Lewis that's gonna drop it because. It's our loyal fans right there.
Right there, brother. And then the fight this Saturday. Shoot. God, who are we picking to win? All right, let's talk about the last fight because that's the closest thing to these two fighters. Dustin Poirier, first round, he gets
stunned
by Conor McGregor a few times. A very few times.
Yeah, it was multiple times. Yeah.
Now, I was at my buddy Nate's house watching this fight. And one thing that I called out in the very first round was the leg kicks to the calf when they were happening. I was like, Nate was like, oh, dang, Conor's winning this fight. And I'm like, bro.
That leg, though.
I was like, wait a minute. No. I do not like how he has not checked one leg kick. And after that, my buddy Nate was like, oh, really? I was like, but Conor won this round. I was like, yeah, but
But Dustin's putting money in the bank.
Exactly. And the later the rounds came in the second round, I was like, he's not checking any of those leg kicks, man. And that's when the momentum shifted to Dustin Poirier. Can Conor McGregor win in the first round? Absolutely. And I think that's what Conor needs. He needs a first round KO against Dustin. I do not think he's going to get a KO later than that. He needs a vicious KO in the first round. And I think that's what Conor is going to do. I think he's going to sprint because I know Dustin's going to go in for the leg calves again, or he's going to go for a takedown. Conor needs a KO.
He does. I just watched a recent interview of Dustin Poirier, and who knows if this is the truth or not. But Dustin Poirier says he's not prepping to kick the leg. He's prepping to check leg kicks because he knows Conor's going to try to implement that. Because what better way to stop somebody from kicking your leg than to kick their leg, And I don't know what the approach is here. I really don't. All I know is Conor has one route to victory in this fight, and that's by first round knockout. And it's really sad because Conor McGregor is such an overall well-rounded martial artist. And we can't fail to acknowledge that. But we can't also fail to acknowledge who Dustin Poirier is as a fighter.
Yeah.
And he's well-rounded as well. He may not be as flashy or as, technical or significant strikes as Conor McGregor, but I promise you, he is a great MMA boxer. And I had a discussion with somebody on our Facebook fight group that I'm joined in. And, everybody loves Conor McGregor. And I love Conor McGregor, but when they're blinded by the name or the what have you done, you have to acknowledge what have you done lately. Conor McGregor has not been trending upwards, and we got to recognize that. I love Conor McGregor. I don't want to keep putting him down. but really, it's like, where are you at right now? You know, and you're fighting a guy who literally sat you on your ass. He sat you down. So the crap talking and the macho man and I'm coming in here, Connor. You have to. Now, I'm not saying be nice, but you have to recognize, brother, you're not up here no more. Now, money-wise, maybe. I'm talking about fighter-wise. You are right here, if anything. You're just a little bit behind because Dustin has that one on you at 55. We're not talking about 45. You won the belt of that division. You won that division.
Yeah.
You can have that. But here at 55, it's Dustin's time.
Now, they both have a common opponent named Khabib. Conor went 4 rounds with Khabib. Dustin Poirier got submitted in the 3rd by Khabib.
Conor McGregor got dropped by Khabib.
He did too.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah, no. Obviously we're trying to find some common things, and we're trying to find what's gonna happen in this fight. But obviously we don't know. This 3rd fight is such a pick'em fight. It could go to either one. First round, Conor McGregor, he needs that KO. He needs that win. Dustin Poirier, we know if it goes to the 2nd round, it's more likely Dustin's fight. One thing, though, that I see in the fighters is Dustin has said, I don't love fighting anymore. I don't love this anymore. He doesn't even care about winning the belt. He's all about making that bread now. Obviously, you know, he wants the Conor fight. If you're a fighter, get all the money you possibly can. Conor is choosing to fight. He doesn't have to fight. He's choosing to fight. Dustin is choosing to fight Conor because of the money. He does not like fighting anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes, let's talk about that.
Let's talk
angle,
about
because
that.
I've heard that narrative go around often. You know, Conor McGregor doesn't have to fight. He's choosing to. Let's be real here. He's coming off a loss, bro.
Yeah, to Dustin. Yeah.
If you don't think he has to fight, he should just retire. He should just retire.
He can.
Because you are not going to get any higher of your peak than you already have. There's no way you will sell more pay-per-views than you did with the Khabib fight. There was way too much that went into play, and there's too much backstory, and now that Khabib's father's gone, you will never have the opportunity to get that one back. I love that, you know, Conor McGregor is so wealthy that he doesn't have to do this. But let's be real here, bro. He has to do this. He has to fight for his legacy. Because if he didn't come back, there's always going to be that, oh, well, what if Conor McGregor did this or what if he did that? And even now that he has come back, he has to win. And if he doesn't win, he needs to stop. Because it's literally not good for his legacy. No. It doesn't take away what he's done. It dilutes it. It dilutes it.
All right. Let's go in with what if each fighter wins, right? Let's go with, first off, Dustin Poirier. What if he wins? What is there after this?
You give him a shot immediately at the belt.
Charles Oliveira?
Oliveira. Absolutely. Well, he should have already fought for that. He should have already fought for that belt. If it's anything else, like Dustin Poirier, literally don't fight for 55 pounds anymore. Go up to 170 and you fight money fights.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, you know, or you know, Masvidal, or these guys, you know what I'm saying? There's big names.
Super fights.
Big names. Colby Covington. There's big names in that division, you know, that you can fight.
Usman
but you don't enable the UFC to kind of take advantage of you. You just can't do that. And you've already allowed them to take full advantage of you by making this fight. Like, I can't stress enough how this fight shouldn't even be happening. Like, yes, there's the narrative of the 1-1, but it's not in the same division. This 3rd fight should have been at 170 pounds. There's nothing on the line. So why not make it 170? Both fighters don't have to cut weight. Both fighters are coming in a little stronger. They've both fought at 170, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So why not? You know?
Yeah, no, I
unless
agree
it's for the belt.
One,
unless it's for the belt. And then if this next fight is for the belt, you cannot treat Poirier like you do Colby Covington.
I think this is why they're making it at 155, because whoever wins this fight will fight Charles Oliveira for the belt. Now, if Dustin Poirier loses to Conor, that's it. I feel like that's a wrap. Maybe you can go fight Michael Chandler.
This is my opinion.
There's no
if Dustin wins, you give him the shot at the belt.
If
Conor wins, you have him face Justin Gaethje. Because Justin Gaethje is at the top.
Hell no.
Bro, I'm sorry. For Conor, it's not good. But Justin Gaethje deserves a shot before Conor does. I will die on that hill.
No. Look, if I'm the UFC, if I'm the UFC and if Conor wins, I am protecting him and giving him, I would give him Sean O'Malley's opponent. Shoot, I'd be like,
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand the business side.
But if Conor wins, I would immediately, I wouldn't even offer him the belt right away. I would give him Nate Diaz because you want to bank the money fights for Conor.
They should have took that Nate Diaz fight before this fight, you know?
Right? Because either
Or
way,
even Nick Diaz, you know? Like, that's even, you beat up my little brother, here I come. You know, there's that narrative there.
Yes.
There's so much money play in this field, but what they're doing is they're diluting these things by putting this stupid third fight together. But it's okay, because Dustin's going to come out victorious, you know? This MMA math is going to add up perfect. He's gonna solidify his shot. It's his time. He's going to fight for the belt. And Conor McGregor needs to recognize where he's at, take the money fights, or hang him up and stick to the proper 12.
Yeah. Conor has other things that he can go into if he loses. But
I'm pulling a Hector.
all
right
right,
now.
if he wins, I know my phone's been going off too. If Conor wins, let's just say that he has opportunity to go fight for the belt, right? Or go big money fights with Nate Diaz. I feel like Conor, if he wins or loses, he still has other options. Dustin Poirier needs to win.
Yeah, no, he needs to win. He needs to win.
Right? Because if he does not win, that's enough for the money fights for him.
The UFC will drop him to the bottom. Look at what they're doing to Justin Gaethje, bro. Like, I can't stress that enough, man. They're treating him like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
And what has he done for you besides putting on bangers, you know, like literally giving his brain cells for this sport? And you guys are like, if I'm not mistaken, Justin Gaethje's last fight was Khabib Nurmagomedov, right?
Yes.
Khabib is retired. He's been retired. How does that drop Justin Gaethje all the way to the bottom? It just doesn't, bro. It literally doesn't. Because Conor McGregor lost to Khabib, and he's immediately fighting Dustin Poirier. Give me a break, bro.
Hey, the UFC,
or he beat Cowboy and that gives him a shot again. Give me a break.
Hey, the UFC, just let's be real. They have their own rules for the draws and the rest of the people.
No, I get it. I totally get it. And if I was Dana White and Nick Maynard and all these guys, I'd probably be doing the same thing. But I just see, as a entrepreneur myself, I see better opportunities that you have to look at the cause and effect, you know? And by putting this third fight together, you could destroy so many other things, you know? But we're here. It's fight week. And we got to get through this to now see what's, you know, in store for both of these fighters. But I love that there's actually something on the line, even though there's nothing on the line. Both fighters' pride and dignity is on the line.
Yeah.
And I can't lie to you. Even if Dustin loses, it's not going to change the way I look at him. But actually, if Conor loses, it's not going to change the way I look at him.
It doesn't.
Because I already look at him like he's already peaked, you know?
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It's an interesting time for sure.
But I feel Conor needs to win because he has all these other brands. They rely on him, his name, his legacy winning. Yeah. So if you keep on winning, you have a successful product. You know, everyone wants to buy your stuff. If you keep on losing, then people are gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, it's cool. He has his own brand and everything. I'll watch it when he fights. But other than that, it's not like, hey, let's get it. I want to rock it.
There's only a couple people, and we could tie it all in if you'd like, because I know we've reached a pretty good, solid show amount. Yeah. But we can tie it all in with this. Whether Conor McGregor wins or loses, there's opportunity in both. If you look at Nate Diaz, this man is not necessarily one of the best fighters in the world. He's one of the most entertaining fighters. And I will pay cash money to see him win or lose because what he brings to the table. There's only a couple fighters that can continuously lose, and we still have that big hype behind him, the big following. I don't know if Conor McGregor can be that guy if he continues to lose more than 2-3 fights.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
No.
I think the fans, I can only speak for myself. I loved Conor McGregor when he was peaking. You know, after the Floyd Mayweather, that was when he was at his peak, you know. He came back, he beat Eddie Alvarez, got the belt, and then from there it was just kind of like just a straight shot down, you know.
Yeah.
And I love Conor McGregor, but I try to be, once again, conscious, present, here in the now, look at the fighters of where they're at lately, and make my decisions off then. And I just truly believe that Conor McGregor has to win this fight. And if he doesn't, then he literally needs to take either a Nick Diaz fight, some type of money fight to maintain the brand, or it will sink.
Big old super fight. Run it with Masvidal. Everyone would love to see that.
Absolutely.
Nate Diaz. Like, you have to have money fights for Conor if he loses. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure you're picking Dustin.
You know it.
I'm picking Conor. I'm picking Conor to win this one.
We kind of had it strategically placed. I will move this one out the way. Yeah. We had these tap handles strategically placed for our picks just to tie it in.
Yes. With that, obviously, we're going to bet on this one. Let's make it a 20.
I'm down.
Ooh, this is going to be exciting.
I'm down.
All right, guys. With that, thank you for hanging out with us. And if you watched the entire episode, kudos to you. You're a real one. We appreciate you. And, if you didn't, I will cut each one into its own episode. So we're about to have a whole bunch of little episodes.
Yes.
UFC 264, whole section of its own on the Ringside Beer Show.
It deserves it.
You guys enjoy the fights this weekend. Hopefully we brought some information, maybe open your eyes if you guys are making bets or deciding who might win, or talk about the fights. You guys pick, right?
Yeah, hopefully we brought a little energy and a little momentum going into the weekend. I know we have the rest of the week to actually get to the fights.
Yep.
I will be working until 8 o'clock that night, so I'm going to be speeding on the freeway to get back. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to rewatch everything, and I just hope that what we brought to you guys today was informative. And once again, thank you guys so much for being loyal and dedicated and invested into us. We try to be as invested into the brand and into the just the whole aura of what we're trying to accomplish here, and that takes two, and that's us and you. We appreciate that so much.
And we appreciate it. And remember, guys, on Saturday, we will have a fight companion. We will have that up to, if anything crazy happens, we will capture the reactions here.
Yes.
And then we'll have back to normal on Monday with a special guest, James. And we will be discussing how we met, how I met Andy, and we're going to have the 48th episode, a dedication to Andy, the CEO of Ringside Beer.
Yeah, this one's going to be really exciting. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yes.
A lot.
So enjoy you guys this weekend, guys. Enjoy the fights. We will see you again on Monday. We have plenty of content here for you guys, and we'll pick it up with current events next week, all right? That being said, until next time.
Be ringside.
We love you. Bye.